How do you prospect for new MSP clients? And this is going to be an MSP basics, or if you're just looking to find more leads, this is going to be a fantastic video for you. I'm going to be covering everything that you're going to want to know about prospecting. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention just two quick things. I am going to mention some resources and a resources page. You can go grab it down in the video description or the podcast, the MSP Heroes podcast. If you scroll down, you'll actually be able to see all of the additional tools and free giveaways that we have that are going to legitimately help you, just like this free Land Your First Clients step-by-step guide on the website growth-generators.com. And number two is come hang out with us in the Discord, growth-generators.com/Discord, or just visit our website. You can go there and check out the Discord. And the reason why I say that is we are over, I can't even imagine that I'm saying this, but over 800 members and growing like a weed in the Discord. It is truly an incredible community. I like to hang out in there sometimes on top of our paid community as well, but truly it is amazing to see what people are accomplishing, and just it's the coolest thing to see you guys all helping one another. So let's talk about prospecting. Now, prospecting should not be, you can't mess up the difference between prospecting and marketing. A lot of people have this weird idea that, well, I'm prospecting, and prospecting is marketing activities, and they are vastly different things. I've actually made some notes on some of the core differences between them, but one of the most and probably biggest core differences is marketing is a long-term play. You might be looking to get leads from your marketing. You might be looking to do brand awareness from your marketing, but truly it's a longer term. It doesn't mean tomorrow, that's a horrible snap, tomorrow you are going to have leads. It means you are going to work on building that influx of leads or the brand awareness over time. Where prospecting, on the other hand, is truly going out and identifying your target customer and saying, hey, I know where this target customer hangs out. I know how to go approach them and ultimately what to do to get in front of them, and then identify that person as a good prospect. And knowing that, hey, this person, this imaginary person I'm weirdly putting my arms around, is a potential prospect. This is truly, truly important when it comes to the difference between prospecting and marketing. So we're focusing on prospecting for this video, and it was really important that I clarify that because I know that there's some misconceptions around the super basics. So we're going to jump in here, and I want to talk about probably the most important thing to use for prospecting, especially in today's day and age. Now, there's tons of ways to go get leads, but truly my favorite is on LinkedIn. Now, there's a ton of different ways to go out and get and find prospects, but some of the things that I want to talk about is we have to network as people. LinkedIn is a fantastic resource for networking. If you click on My Network, you'll actually see in here all of the people that it's recommending. And all of these people are potentially people that you can network. In many cases, it'll show you, right, where they're from, who they're connected with, why they're connected, right? Whether it's an old job, it could be a school that you went to, anything like that. Now, networking online is just as important as networking in person. You're going to get out at some point and you're going to go out and meet people. Hopefully go out, shake their hands, and go talk to people. But how do we actually identify if it is a prospect? There's a couple telltale signs. Now, in the internet world, we can check and do homework on somebody's business. We can see if they have employees. We can see if they have a LinkedIn page. We can see maybe if they're a part of different groups. All of that is what we're capable of on LinkedIn. But what if we're in person? In person, it's very, very different. The first thing you have to do is hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. But truly, in all seriousness, we have to make sure that this person could potentially be a fit. And we need to discover whether or not they're going to be a good fit. In many cases, you're going to go to a networking event and you're not going to have the ability to just be on your phone and say, oh, what was your name again? And then you go to LinkedIn and find their company. It's just not going to happen. And for those of you listening, I had my phone in my hands and pretending to go through that. But truly, it is super important that we can ask really good, open-ended questions. Hey, you're going to have the small talk. You're going to build some bonding and rapport with that person. But at some point or another, you're going to say, hey, what do you guys do? How big is the company? How big is the team? Oh, that's super cool. Where do you fall in the line of command or the chain of command, right? Are you responsible for managing people? And all of these questions that I'm kind of asking are just giving us these little snippets of information for us to build a portfolio of about how big that company is. It also is going to start helping us identify, are they heavily reliant on computers or technology? Are there multiple people that leverage technology? And you can even ask them and tell them, hey, you know what? We're an IT company. What kind of problems are you running into? Pretend I'm a doctor and you could ask me anything. Have fun with it. But I cannot tell you how many people aren't asking really good open-ended questions. Sometimes you could come out and just ask them, how big is the company? That's super cool. Who takes care of your technology? It's totally fine to ask those questions as long as they're asked at the right time. But it's really important to understand both of those areas. Now, the second part of prospecting, probably one of the easier things to do as you begin to prospect, is, believe it or not, ask for referrals. Now, on LinkedIn, it's super, super simple. If I go find, let's go find my buddy Josh Kreitzman, an absolutely phenomenal accountant, right? In his very quirky picture here, but he's one of the best accountants. And what I could do is I could go through his 385 connections and start to click and see, who are those people? Is there somebody that I'd like to meet? And then potentially asking, hey, do you mind referring me over to that person? The same thing goes with in person. You might go to a networking event, a function, anything like that, and you might have a friend with you, or you might know that there is a friend that's going to be there. For example, at my own local chamber of commerce, I have a handful of friends that I see outside of the chamber. And then when I go, we all hang out in the chamber, but we also try to identify potentially good prospects for our friends. This not only helps my friends, who are then hopefully going to refer me business, but also it's reciprocity. Because I'm doing it for them, they should be doing it for me as well. And that's the coolest part about it. And yes, I go to a local chamber of commerce. Why? Because I absolutely love being a part of my community, and it does help the business. I pick up great business tips left and right from my local chamber of commerce. But it's really important. And this brings me to the next part of prospecting, which is building a sphere of influence, or a circle of influencers. When you prospect, you want to be able to go out and identify that dream customer that you have, that super perfect target. And if you're struggling with figuring out who that actually is, go over to growth-generators.com/resources, and right at the bottom, you'll see the buyer persona. Create this. It only takes a few minutes to go through and create the buyer persona, but this is your dream customer. And the nice part is as you're going out and you're building this circle of influence, this sphere of people that can refer you out and you can refer them out, you now have a piece of paper that you could say, hey, this is exactly who I'd like to meet. And yes, you're not going to bring the paper there, but you can now completely and tell them who it is and articulate, hey, this is the type of business. This is the information that I need. This is some of the tips that would help you identify if they're a good prospect for me. And you want to do the same thing for your friends. You will quickly figure out who they want to meet, and they will quickly figure out who you want to meet. And it's the same thing back and forth. Additionally, one of the best ways to prospect is find local, not influencers, but local partners that could do a really, really good job at helping you get in front of your target customer. Kind of like referral partners per se. Local digital marketing companies, low voltage companies, VoIP providers if you're not providing VoIP, printer companies if you're not providing printer services. Get creative with it. Even electricians or building managers are great resources to meet that you might be able to your clients are eventually going to grow and they're going to need a new office. How nice would it be for you to introduce them to a building manager who can get them set up in a better building? You have to begin to start plugging and figuring out where there's connections across different people. And once again, they're going to figure out who they can refer you, and you can refer to them. But having that referral and that sphere of influence is super, super important because they're going to be able to identify that. Now, before I get into the last and most important part, I hope you hit that like button, that subscribe button, the notification bell. I'm going to sneak a little golden nugget all the way at the end. But the other fantastic way to find prospects is twofold. Your website and their website. You can have a website that has details on who you want to work with. Now, at the time of recording this, we have Elevate Your MSP or Small Business Online. This small business is going away. It'll only be about MSPs. So when somebody sees our stuff and is like, hey, do you work with MSPs? It is clear as day that we help you grow to the next level at Growth Generators. Crazy how that name works, right? But we have to have a good website on there. And not only is our website going to attract it, but we're then able to go find our targets' websites. And based on that buyer persona, we can say, hey, we want to talk to, I don't know, chiropractors. Maybe you have a dream that you want to help as many chiropractors as possible with your MSP. Great. We can search chiropractors near me. We simply go to Google and we search chiropractors near me, and it's going to come up, right? We see all of these chiropractors all over Charlotte. Now, some of them are not going to be a good fit, and some of them are going to be a good fit. We can go through one by one and see, hey, you know what? Here's an about. They have the Meet Our Team, and we can see how many people are a part of this practice, right? So it's one doctor with 4 potentially more other people in there, and we can go through and we can see the next person, right? Our practice, Meet the Team. This is suspiciously laid out very similarly, but we have one chiropractor. Cool. And you're going to have to do the homework, going through one by one to figure out which company or which practice is the best for you. And we can go again to the About page and see if they talk about something that would say, hey, they have a handful of people in the office. That's a great one. Follow on social media. Do hashtag chiropractor or just start doing your homework. You might have to go a little crazy on certain things and also posting on social media of who you help to help attract them. Now, I said at the end of the video that I was going to give you a little golden nugget, and here is your golden nugget when it comes to these things. As you help people and as you continuously go out, grow, and hopefully fix people's environments, one of the best things that you can do is get case studies and testimonials. More so, testimonials are always going to happen, but case studies are wildly, wildly important. If you go to our website, growth-generators.com, we're in the process of fixing our testimonials and adding even more because we have some from our heroes in our membership. We have some from just YouTube filling it up, and I can't even copy as many as there really are because it's just endless from the Discord, from YouTube, and all of that, which is fantastic. But having that so you can show people, hey, we have tons of testimonials. You can even ask them, hey, can you mention our MSP specifically helped your chiropractic practice accomplish XYZ with technology, and the result was this, right? You can coach them into building a truly incredible testimonial for your business. All of those testimonials help build up your credibility, but also shows Google that you're doing a really, really good job. It's one step ahead of your website. So you could also use that when you're prospecting. When somebody says, well, do you do a good job? I don't know if we do a good job, but a lot of our clients seem to say we do a good job. We actually have a crazy full testimonials page. If you want, I'll read off a couple of them to you, but these are just what people are saying about our stuff. It now removes that stress from you when they're asking you questions, and then allows your people, the people that you've already helped, to help close that deal. That's truly the best thing in the world. Almost the exact same thing happened just, I think, yesterday or the day before that, where I got a phone call. Somebody was like, hey, I'm looking at your membership and I'm interested, but I don't see enough case studies and testimonials. And I know that we're in the process of rebuilding our website. But the funniest part is we were hanging out on Discord and I said, just jump in the Discord and ask everybody else. Get the feedback from them. Sure enough, they became a member of our membership because there was an overwhelmingly positive feedback from everybody in the Discord about how great it actually was. It's not me trying to say, hey, we're the best thing in the world. Come hang out with us, come join us. It's everyone else saying, hey, it's really worth being a part of that membership. So those are ways to leverage testimonials and referrals to then go out and prospect. But truly, you need to know who you want to go after. You want to know where they're hanging out online, whether that's on the internet or out in the real world. Do you have a connection with them that you could potentially leverage, whether that's a connection on LinkedIn or somebody's business card that you might have gotten networking or something of that. And then last but not least, you got to have the guts to approach them and say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'd love to do potentially business with you. Do you mind booking a discovery call? That's the absolute worst way to do it, but it is the most simplified way I could say it, right? Hey, I've identified you as potentially a prospect. I know that sounds crazy to say, but be honest with people. Hey, I think you guys would be a great fit for us. Or we talked to so-and-so and they said you might be a great fit for us. Go through that process and try. You'll find prospects, but you're never going to talk to them if you don't shoot your shot. Go ask them, go speak to them. They're all human. They're going to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks in the morning, just like you are. I promise you, they just aren't ready to hear your solution yet, but it doesn't mean that they're not willing to. You're catching them off guard in many cases, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that they don't want it. It just means they weren't ready to have the conversation right now, but you can always book something down the road. We have to understand that. They might even be working with another provider, but there's plenty of solutions on this channel to help you crush that. I hope this video helps. I hope you've learned something, at least a good differentiator between what prospecting is and how to do it correctly versus marketing. Love the heck out of you guys, as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then.